Hello everyone! Many home cooks often say that yeast dough for buns is a real challenge and it's hard to work with. I'll show you a successful dough recipe and a filling that won't turn soggy or overcooked. And we'll make soft, golden, fluffy cabbage buns that always turn out great. Cabbage buns are a delicious treat from childhood, something Grandma used to make, and this dough recipe is straight from her notebook. First, we start with a sponge. In a large bowl, crumble 25 grams of fresh yeast and sprinkle with a scant teaspoon of sugar. Mix the yeast and sugar together and leave for 5 minutes. This way, the yeast dissolves well, becomes runny, and mixes easily with milk. Pour in 250 milliliters of warm milk, 36 to 37 degrees Celsius, and add 150 grams of flour. Stir it all together. This sponge is like a warm-up for the yeast. In warm liquid with sugar, the yeast activates. It starts breathing, forming bubbles of gas. That's what makes the dough soft, airy, and light. Thanks to the sponge, the buns will rise beautifully. Cover the bowl with a towel and leave in a warm place for 20 to 30 minutes. The sponge, or pre-ferment, is ready, and the yeast has activated successfully. If it doesn't activate like this, the dough simply won't rise. Now we knead the dough. Add half a teaspoon of salt and 2 eggs. Beat them lightly with a fork right in the bowl. This helps them mix better with the sponge, and you won't get lumps of yolk. Add 2 tablespoons of oil. It makes the dough softer, more elastic, and prevents it from sticking to your hands. Now gradually add sifted flour. You'll need about 500 grams total, but because flour varies by brand and type, add it in parts. You might need a little less. Too much, and the dough will turn heavy and tight. Start kneading by hand. I love working with this dough. It's easy and smooth. After kneading for 2 to 3 minutes, add 80 grams of soft butter. Knead again so the dough fully absorbs the butter. This makes it even more tender and soft. The buns turn out like fluffy little clouds. Keep kneading for another 7 to 10 minutes until the dough is smooth, elastic, and no longer sticks to your hands. Shape it into a ball, cover with a towel, and let it rise in a warm place for 1 hour. It should double in size. While the dough rises, let's make the cabbage filling. Heat a pan with vegetable oil and chop 1 onion. Cabbage buns are one of the most beloved traditional Ukrainian dishes. They're a true classic of homemade baking. Tender, puffy, and irresistible. Once you start, it's hard to stop eating them. Add the onion to the pan and sauté it gently over low heat to prevent burning. Grate 1 carrot on a coarse grater. By the way, it's best to make the filling in advance so it has time to cool to room temperature. Add the grated carrot to the onion and cook until soft. This sauté will add flavor to the cabbage, the main ingredient of our filling. Next, we slice the cabbage. Half a head is enough for this amount of dough. Slice it thinly and finely. Or if you have a special grater, you can shred it with that. After slicing, cut the long cabbage strips shorter. That way, it'll be easier to shape the buns. Long strips tend to pull together, make the dough wet, and won't seal well. Transfer the cabbage to the pan. As I mentioned earlier, this filling should be made in advance so it has time to cool. For these buns, we also have another option: homemade stewed cabbage preserved for winter. Chop some fresh dill. It makes the cabbage filling more fragrant and fresh. Dill adds a nice light spring note. A little green onion won't hurt either. It also pairs well with cabbage. Stew the cabbage until soft. Judge by texture, as timing depends on the variety. About 5 minutes before it's ready, season with salt, pepper, and a pinch of sugar. Stir well. Keep in mind, the cabbage shouldn't get too soft or turn into mash. And the filling shouldn't be too wet, so don't add water while cooking. Only in extreme cases if the cabbage doesn't release any liquid. Add the dill at the end. No need to cook it, just stir and turn off the heat. The filling is ready. Transfer to another bowl and let it cool. Hot filling can melt the dough and ruin the shape. Cooled filling makes shaping easy. The dough stays firm and the buns hold their shape in the oven. Our dough has risen well. Punch it down to release excess air bubbles from fermentation. This gives the dough a smooth structure and the buns turn out soft and fluffy. Grease the work surface with oil, and your hands too. The dough won't stick, and you won't need extra flour. Pinch off small pieces, about 60 grams each. You can weigh them for even buns. First shape all the pieces into nice, smooth balls. Then we'll form the buns. Once the dough balls are ready, start shaping from the first one you made. Roll it out or flatten it gently into a thin rectangle. Very thin, but be careful not to tear it. Place a full tablespoon of cabbage filling on one edge only. Fold the dough over and lightly press to seal. Tuck in the sides toward the center. Then, roll it up like a cabbage roll, shaping the bun. Pinch the seam well so it doesn't open while baking. This method keeps the filling centered and the dough layer even all around. Place seam side down on a baking tray. Leave space between them, they'll still rise. Keep going with the rest. Cabbage buns are my favorite. They're a joy to make, fast and hassle-free. By the way, this yeast dough can be used for many other fillings too. Meat, liver, peas, potatoes, and sweet ones as well. It makes perfect buns with apples, plums, or cherries. Just cook and treat your loved ones to something tasty. After shaping all the buns, let them rest for 20 to 30 minutes before baking. This final proof will make them extra fluffy and light. And before putting them in the oven, we need to brush them. Take 1 egg yolk without the white, beat it with a fork, and add 1 tablespoon of milk. Use this mixture to brush the buns. To give them an even more appetizing look, decorate with sesame seeds. Do this right after brushing so the seeds stick better. This dough batch makes 18 buns. They disappear fast, so I recommend making a double portion right away. Some buns will be topped with sesame, others with flax seeds. Use what you have. Both are tasty, healthy, and beautiful. Place them into a preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius for 15 to 20 minutes, depending on your oven. The buns are ready. The baked dough smells amazing, and they look just perfect. So homemade. Sometimes they're gone even faster than sweet rolls. These beautiful, golden, and slightly crispy buns aren't just a tea time snack. They go great with many soups, like borscht, cabbage soup, pickle soup, meatball soup, or rich broths, a perfect match. And the best part? No deep frying, just light dough and an oven. No extra grease. Shape them however you like, long or round. Just make sure to seal them well so the filling doesn't leak out while baking. Cabbage buns are a true classic of Ukrainian cuisine, timeless and beloved, and homemade pastries always have a special energy. They bring coziness and joy. To keep them soft longer, cover them with a thick cloth or towel after baking. The buns are hot, fragrant, tender. The dough is airy, the filling still gently steaming, the cabbage soft but not overcooked and juicy. They taste great, both warm and cold. The soft dough with juicy cabbage filling creates a perfect taste, just as it should be. Simple, homemade buns. Nothing fancy or complicated, just good old home style. Bake with love, and it will always turn out great.